Greetings, media buffs! I just went and saw Ghostbusters, and it doesn't suck. In fact, actually, it's half decent, and I know people are going to crucify me for saying this because I was one of the ones saying it was going to suck, and feel like I was going to have to dig my eyes out with a pitchfork after seeing it. No, guys, actually, I'm actually really pleasantly surprised. Okay, so the first half of this, as usual, guys, non-spoiler. Second half, spoiler. So if you are planning on going to see it, which I do recommend, please turn it off, and I'll flash a great big spoiler warning so you know when to turn it off. So, first things first. Yes, the female leads are in it, and they do a pretty good job of explaining how they all met and this whole chemistry between them, and they're all best friends, and how they all meet and stuff like that. Well, except the subway worker, the black chick. I don't mean that in a racist way. Obviously, she's one of them from the outside group, but these other three are obviously all met before and worked together. So they do a good job with the chemistry. On set, does it work? It's okay. Look, obviously, yeah, it's not bad. It's 3 or 4 women, actually, sorry, who go around and basically bust ghosts. Now, there are a lot of similarities between this and the other movies. The plot line itself hasn't changed that much. That is one thing I would have to say about it. But you'll have to check the spoiler section for that because I don't want to go ruining it too much. Apart from that, special effects, they're actually not bad. Look, at the end of the day, we knew the special effects were going to be horrible. Going and seeing it, is it still horrible? It is a little bit cartoonish. I will give them that. It's like, especially with the end, with all the ghosts and all that, with all the fight scenes and stuff, they are very sort of cartoony. There is an animated series or animated section in it with a ghost. That is a bit of a joke though, so that kind of is okay. And the fight scene at the end between the girls and all the ghosts, that it does get a little bit cringeworthy in some points. You're sort of sitting there thinking, okay, maybe. But apart from that, the music, the song that we all wanted to bash our ears with a pitchfork, it's only in it for a small fraction of the time during the movie, and they've used the rap scene from Missy Elliott, so they actually did a really good job of cutting out the crappy first part and the crappy last part. That actually worked out quite well. The plot line is okay. The plot line is, like I said, it's very much similar to the first one, and the second one, and the third one. There are cameos in the movie. Second half of this video, if you want to find out about those, I won't spoil it for you. Do stay for after the credits. During credits, there is a great scene. After the credits, there is a reference that you want to watch. Definitely worthwhile seeing. I won't mention that in this half. I know it's probably been leaked already, but I'll talk about that in the second half of this video. Is it worthwhile seeing? Yeah, actually, guys, I've turned around. I would say yes. Definitely go and have a look at it. Take your girlfriends. It's a film where a guy and girl can go and sort of spend time together. There's a little bit of action scene in it. There's a little bit of comedy. The whole possessed ghost thing it's not meant to be taken so seriously. The whole movie has a bit of a comedy feel to it, and the jokes do seem to land a lot better in the movie than they do in the trailer. So there was always that. I'm not sure if they just did a terrible job cutting the trailer together, and it made it look absolutely terrible. But yeah, it does land a lot better. And it is actually a decent storyline. In fact, I would probably go and say, if some chick came up and said to me, hey, I want to go and see the Ghostbusters, I would probably go and see it again with her. Mainly A, because the chick's asking me if she wants to go and see Ghostbusters, and B, because it was actually a half decent movie. So yeah, it's actually worthwhile having a look. Now, sound, video, awesome. Everything sort of lands. The Hearst, look, we knew the hearse was going to be in it, so it was no surprise on that. Slimer is in it. That's not really a spoiler. We've seen him in the trailer. That is actually quite a funny series. The ending of it is a little bit... Really, that was all you had to do, sort of thing. Kevin, or Chris Hemsworth, does an amazing job pulling this off. In fact, he probably actually carries the film. He is really, really good in it. So, yeah, big props to the actor for doing what he did. He really did nail that part. The women also did an amazing job too. They were really convincing. And a lot of the cameos and that you'll see throughout the film definitely make you smile, that's for sure. Out of 10, I would probably say a decent, maybe 8.5 out of 10. I'm not sure if it was just the fact that everybody thought it was going to suck, so my expectations were low, or if the fact it was actually that good of a film. But guys, it was actually a decent film. So look, go check it out, watch it yourselves. If you have seen the movie, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Because I was actually quite impressed with it. I was actually really, really impressed. Like I said, I went to this movie fully expecting it to suck so bad. And I'm actually glad I went and seen it. I'm actually glad I went and enjoyed it myself. And this is not, I'm not being paid to see it or anything like that. I've got my ticket stub here if anybody wants to argue that point. I've paid my way to go and see the movie. So yeah, you know, the trolls don't have to worry about, oh, you've been paid to say this. No, actually I went and paid my, hang on, how much was it? $9. Went and paid my $9 to go and see the movie like everybody else, and it was actually half decent. Now, this is where we're going to break, guys. So if you're not interested in spoilers, please turn off the video from now. I'll just let you guys know, obviously, if you did like this review and you are leaving us, please remember to like, subscribe. If you have any questions regarding Ghostbusters, feel free to hit us up in the comment section below. Guys, try and keep in mind with the comments, not everybody has to go on and seen it, so please no spoilers in there, alright? Let's not try and ruin it for everybody else. And if you are leaving us for now, have a great night, enjoy yourselves, and go and see Ghostbusters. For everybody else staying for the spoiler section, we'll continue this in about 2 seconds. So guys, welcome to the spoiler section of Ghostbusters. So the basic plot line is quite simply this. There are two characters that are old high school friends. They wrote a book together detailing this expose or view regarding ghosts and the physical plane and whether or not, you know, you could actually trap a ghost, and there was a whole science and everything behind it. Now these two were obviously Abby Yates or Melissa McCarthy, and I believe it was Kristen Wiig's character. Now they wrote this book together, and then basically Kristen Wiig's character basically decided to turn her back on Melissa McCarthy's character, or Abby, and basically go off and pursue her scientific in the mainstream, where this sort of view was ridiculed. Obviously she spent a lot of time trying to cover it up, the fact that she wrote this book. She doesn't want her colleagues to know, because, you know, she'll get fired and blah blah blah. Ends up being that Abby Yates's character, or Melissa McCarthy's character, or Abby Yates, actually prints this book behind her back, and Abby Yates is now working with Kate Millican on trying to research and trap and investigate ghosts. Those two are working together, and Kristen Wiig's character basically goes to try and plead with Melissa McCarthy or Abby Yates to stop writing this book and to get it off eBay or Amazon or whatever it was, so that she could not get found out by her dean and the rest of the guys. Anyway, this whole thing happens with this haunted house. I forgot the name of the haunted house now. They basically come up, and he says that he wants them to investigate. He says this to Kristen Wiig's character, who then gives the information to Melissa McCarthy and Kate Middleton, the two who are still researching the ghosts. And the three of them basically go and investigate this house. And the whole time, Kristen Wiig's like, yeah, this is fake. I don't believe in this stuff anymore. They end up getting to the house, and this is where you see the infamous girl in the library scene. Really good scene. It actually does work really well. From then on, the three of them basically form this team to go through, who are actually working outside of a Chinese shop, to actually go through and investigate ghosts and try and trap them, and etc. etc. They do go to the firehouse first, but it ends up being too expensive to rent, so that's where they go to the Chinese shop. Now, obviously, then throughout the course of the movie, they're obviously researching ghosts, trying to find out how to trap them. They end up trapping a few of them. They design these proton packs, similar to obviously the first one, but slightly modified with look, and they sort of work the same way. And then basically it allows them to trap a ghost, and the whole time someone is going around behind the scenes and is actually building these devices that is actually causing the ghosts to forcibly manifest. It's allowing the ghosts to come through our spiritual plane into this world, where he's actually making the ghosts strong enough to do that. His whole plan is basically line up all these ley lines in a great big X. X marks the spot. Center a great big central device that will blow a hole through the fabric of time, and then all the ghosts can come through and flood New York. He does actually pull this off. Obviously this is a spoiler section, so I can't actually say that. And that's when you go through, and obviously these four girls go through and investigate and all try and save the world and everything like that. They do meet Leslie Jones. Obviously she's the subway worker. They meet her because obviously she has a ghost situation. She sees the fly that they've been putting up regarding the ghosts, and she goes for them to help. And that's when she makes the pitch saying, hey, look, you guys know the science stuff. I'm street smart. I know New York. And she does have a lot of background information that they obviously do need to help sort of solve this case. So, yeah, the four of them obviously team up and they become Ghostbusters. Chris Hemsworth comes in as the secretary, who's kind of useless as a secretary. But they obviously employ him because Kristen Wiig's character likes him, has the hots for him. He's meat candy, so she obviously wants to go through and employ him because he's hot and etc. 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 Biggest problem I had with this movie was the plot line, was the fact that it was so similar to the other two movies. You had this research team, they form together, they go after ghosts, they build devices, they trap ghosts. The government tries to shut them down. The government come in and say, in this they don't try and shut them down per se. They go out and publicly expose them as frauds, even though they do fully believe and also are researching this ghost thing themselves. They just obviously don't want the public to know about it because it'll cause mass hysteria. So it's so much similar to that of the first one. That is just so similar that it is actually kind of scary. I would have liked them to have a better plot line or something that was a little bit different than just a reboot. Apart from that, though, like I say, the characters are great. The movie storyline is half decent. The special effects are okay. We knew they were going to be a little bit comically with the ghosts and how they look, and it does sort of appear that way in some of the scenes towards the end. But the fact that we knew about it full well, sort of you're allowed to sort of give them a pass, I suppose. And obviously the biggest thing, guys, is throughout the movie there are cameos. And this is the spoiler section, so I can completely tell you. All the remaining Ghostbusters are back. Yes, Sigourney Weaver is actually in the ending credits, or the title scene. Michael Williams actually plays the part of Leslie Jones's uncle, who owns the actual funeral company. Even the man himself is in the actual film. That's right, guys. Bill Murray turns up in the film, has a pretty small part, but pretty significant one. It's actually funny because he's actually trying to debunk these Ghostbusters. He's actually calling them frauds. So I'm guessing this whole Ghostbusters movie runs on an alternate timeline, where obviously, yeah, but like, you know, like Sigourney Weaver, the only ones I didn't really see in there from the original was the secretary, who played in the original Ghostbusters, and also the assistant. Of course, I'm talking about Rick Moranis and Ann Potts. Didn't see those two guys in the actual film, so it would have been nice to have them in it somewhere, I suppose, but maybe I missed it, I'm not quite sure. But apart from that, guys, look, it really was worthwhile going and seeing. Look, I'm going to basically wrap this up now, guys, because it's gone for like 15 minutes already. Ghostbusters, definitely worthwhile going and seeing, guys. Go check it out. Stay towards the final end, because after credits there is a reference to the original Ghostbusters as well. So there's a lot of references between this one and the original two. And also during the credits scenes, you actually get to see Chris Hemsworth dancing and that, and everybody sort of dancing to a song while the credits are playing as well. So it's all kind of good. Apart from that, guys, let us know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on the Ghostbusters? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy the reboot? I actually quite enjoyed it, so I was actually pleasantly surprised. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, guys, please slap a like on it. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're going to be reviewing a lot of movies coming out soon. I do want to go and see Jason Bourne. I also do want to go and see Star Trek, so we're going to review those as well. So guys, apart from that, enjoy yourselves, have a great time, and enjoy movies.